This woman was killed 6 days before her wedding. Police find horrifying scene at the incident site. Everyone acknowledged Annie Lee's exceptional nature. The 24-year-old, who had a smile that could light up a room, had excelled academically in both high school and college and was enrolled in Yale University. In 2009, she vanished from a campus lab 5 days before she was set to marry the love of her life. Her body would be discovered the day of her planned wedding, but the real cause of her demise is still unknown, even though the executioner was eventually apprehended and found guilty. She met and fell in love with Jonathan Widorsky while attending the public university, according to the university's tribute. September 13, 2009, was their scheduled wedding date. Sadly, she would not live to see that date. Annie observed the effects of various medications on mice while studying pharmacology at Yale. She was seen entering the campus laboratories at 10 Amistad Street at 10 a.m. on September 8 according to security camera footage. One of her roommates filed a missing persons report after she failed to return home later that evening, according to the Hartford Courant. Later on, the lab discovered her wallet and cell phone, as reported by ABC News. Ironically, La had written an article for Yale Medical School's B magazine titled Crime and Safety in New Haven about campus safety months prior to her disappearance. At first, the police weren't positive they were dealing with a homicide and thought La had changed his mind about the wedding. The fact that La was never seen leaving the building, which required visitors to scan ID cards in order to enter and exit, made the situation even more puzzling. On September 12, however, they declared 10 Amistad Street a crime scene after discovering bloody clothing in the ceiling. Annie Lee's decaying body was discovered stuffed upside down in a wall at 5 o'clock in the evening, when she was supposed to be walking down the aisle at her wedding. It is with heavy heart that I inform you of the discovery of a female's body late this afternoon in the basement of the Amistad building. The woman's identity is still unknown, former Yale president Richard stated in a letter to students that ABC News reported. Law enforcement officials remain on the scene. This is an active investigation, and we hope it is resolved quickly. According to ABC News, police started focusing on Ray Clark, a lab technician who worked at the lab that Annie Lee used for custodial duties, even before her body had been discovered. Although he did not attend Yale, Clark was well known for being strict with his co-workers who left the lab untidy, which added to his workload. After one of her studies, an unidentified source told ABC News that Clark had emailed La to express her displeasure about her leaving dirty mice cages behind. The last piece of the puzzle that led to his arrest on September 17 was a DNA sample. Ray Clark ultimately entered a plea of guilty to capital punishment in return for a 44-year prison term. He had previously been charged with capital punishment and felony homicide, both of which carried a 60-year prison term. He also entered an Alford plea for the single count of attempting to commit physical assault, which means he acknowledges the existence of sufficient evidence to support a conviction but refutes the allegations. At the time of his sentencing, Clark was 26 years old. He won't be freed until 2053, when he will be nearly 70 years old. According to the New Haven Register, he expressed his regret to Lee's family during the hearing. The man who killed Annie Lee was apprehended by the police, but they are still unsure of the exact circumstances.